Look at those wings. Look at that. They are so beautiful. Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing a giant moth pinning tutorial, and we've got a couple of species here and I'll show you those in a bit. But firstly, we're going to go through what equipment you will need. Some of it you might be able to find around your home, and some of it I will just show you what I get so you can keep it cost effective. Firstly, you will need some frame board. Now I get mine from Amazon. You get it in sheets of 10, because for moths and butterflies what you will need is a hole in the middle so you can secure their body into the center. This one is a pre-made one that you can buy from Amazon, but obviously they're quite small, and for the giant moths they just won't fit on there. They'll be hanging off the edges. So what I do is I take a couple of sheets, glue two together, cut them in half, glue one side down and then leave one side not glued, so you can then pin it in and then move it to where your butterfly's body is, like that. You'll also need some pins. These are just ordinary sewing pins. I do have entomology pins, but I tend to keep them for more delicate things like small spiders, beetles, maybe the more delicate butterflies. You will also need some warm water. Mine's gone cold now, so I will go and redo that in a second. And lastly, you will need your moth species. Now this one is a Madagascan emperor moth. I'm not sure on how to pronounce the scientific name, so I'll pop it up on the screen now so you can have a look. They are very, very beautiful species. And also we have a Attacus atlas moth, which is the giant atlas moth. This one is a species from Bali, so they're slightly smaller than the ones you get from the Philippines and Thailand, but they're still just as pretty. So I'm going to move the camera now so we can focus in on the pinning, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so firstly what you'll need to do is get your tissue paper, because when you're rehydrating your moth, you'll want to put it on here because the water will obviously come out of the body a bit, so you don't want it going everywhere. Now I also said you do need a pair of scissors as well, because if your moths are sent to you like this, they're stapled in, so we just want to cut out. So just be careful taking your moth specimen out. And then you can usually just be really careful doing this because of the antennae are fragile, like that one has come off slightly there, so we can try and stick that back on. So we'll keep it in there for a second, and you want to keep hold of this then, so when your moth is finished you can just stick it back on at the end. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get our syringe and we're going to pop it into our warm water, and I just changed my water now. So you stick your syringe in the water, fill it up like this. You've got full of water, just give it a little flick so air bubbles come out. Don't want those going into the thorax. And you get your moth and you find the middle of the thorax. So here, which I'm going to find really difficult to do on camera, but there we go. You just pop it up into there like that, right in. Pop your specimen down and just flush the water right into it. It doesn't matter if it goes on the wings a bit, it will come off. And there you go. That will just push all the water up through that main vein at the top here and rehydrate it all, so you can then, the wings are pliable. So we'll just do it to our other one. Okay, so now you have put water into the thorax of the body of the moths, so you want to wait now for that water to be sucked up into those veins of those moths, so they're rehydrated. Now I would leave them for about half an hour and then give them a little check, so you will know, because the bodies will then be soft, and then if you gently squeeze, the wings will open slightly. in the middle of the thorax here if you squeeze there. But for now, just let them rehydrate, and then we'll come back to them in a sec once they are rehydrated. Okay, so that's been about half an hour. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but you can tell because the wings have actually started opening by themselves, so you can tell the water has been pumped up through the body. And the first of all, what you're going to want to do, we'll start with the Atlas moth. I'll pop this one to one side out the way for a second. A bit wet there. And you get your board. I'm going to just zoom out slightly so you can see properly. And then you want to measure how big the body is. You can hold the moth either by the thorax, by the head, or by this costal vein, which is this main vein here, which is really thick. So you won't break anything. And you just want to see how big the body is so you can secure it in nicely. Okay. Right. So we want it about here, I think. So you get some pins and pop them into your board like this, so it doesn't move. Some at the top, some at the bottom. You can always adjust them then as well. That's why I didn't glue both sides, because all moths are different. Some have got really big, especially now the females have got really big bodies. Okay, so then you want to get a pin down into this thorax. So you want to squeeze here, and as you can see, the wings will start to open. And you want to put quite a lot of pressure on there. And I think actually I'm going to use this one here, so just this red sewing pin. And you want to be very careful here and push the pin. It's really tricky, sorry, it's hard to show you. Down through the thorax like this. You can see the pin coming out the other end. You might lose a few legs. There we go. See, the pin is through. Don't think we've lost any legs. Okay, then carefully grab the pin and pop your moth. So you want enough space so the wings can go on each side. So let's just measure this up now. So if you have a look here at the body, you want to sit nice and flush in between there. So you might need to adjust the board slightly so your moth can go right down into there like that. Because you want your wings to sit flush against the board, otherwise they're going to be all wonky. So just make sure your body's right down in there like that. Okay, next bit, we can zoom back in a bit now, is to get your tissue paper, or any sort of paper works, but this paper is better because you can see through it. It's only opaque, so you can see through it quite a lot. And just cut a few strips off like so, or not with these absolutely terrible scissors. I really need some new equipment. I'd love to know in the comments if anyone's done this themselves before, if they have different methods. You know, it's always good to share methods, learn from someone else. Or if you're thinking of giving it a go, let me know. I'm happy to help, like I've always said. So first of all, what we want to do is to pin the wings open. So take one strip like this, down the centre, and pull your wings open. Oh, maybe it's not quite ready. I think that body is too low. One sec. I really can't see what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna turn it this way a second so I can see what I'm doing. Right. The body's a little bit low in there, so we just want to pull the pin back out slightly like that. Oh, I might do it this way actually, because I can see better. And then we go down like this, and then manoeuvre the wings open. So what we want to do for now, don't want to put them in position yet. You just want to pin them open each side, to get a couple pins. Try not to touch the wings with your fingers if you can. You can use oh, it's not very flat. You can use tweezers, but I just don't see the point with these big bodied moths. They're quite robust, and you know, as long as you're not too rough, they'll take a bit of punishment, if you know what I mean. Okay, sorry about all the rustling noises from the board. Just trying to give you the best angle and be able to see. So, okay, so here we are. I want to pull this wing here. So this costal wing we're going to put first. So we're going to bring it right up here and across. Get your pins. Let's put them in the eyesight so you can see how many I'm getting out. We can always make some adjustments as we go along. So don't worry and try to take your time, because the more you try and rush it, the more you're likely to make a mistake or rip a wing, and then you got problems. And then you want to put quite a few underneath. Hold it securely in place, and just as I said, with this paper you can see through it, so you know that you're not piercing the edge of your beautiful wing. Because look at these wings, they are absolutely stunning. So we're going to hold it like that for now, and then we're going to do the bottom wing. So with the bottom wing, you want it to be adjacent to the top wing, for entomology style anyway. You hold this bit down. So basically you have a small corner in between both wings that is a gap. I keep pulling a pin that is clearly had glue on from doing a dome, and it's stuck in the thing. But this moth species is absolutely stunning. Love them. I definitely need to get some to breed for myself, I think, because I'd love to have some. I've had death heads before and some silk moths, but never these. I know they're probably, I've seen some on the spider shop, but they're probably gone now, because if they're being sold in cocoons, they will hatch out quite quickly, and they don't live very long, which is a shame. Only about a week or two if you're lucky. Okay. So then we want to turn it back round. I want to pin this down more because it's moving. And have a look at it. Now, does it look straight? Oh my god, sorry, it's not even in the camera frame. Let's zoom back out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It might be a little bit too high, that top wing, so we might have to just slightly move it down. But we'll do this side, the other side first. So what we want to do now is just take the bottom bit out, bottom pin, sorry, and then, oh, that top pin's come out as well, and then do the same. So you can hold the coastal vein and pin your butterfly wing up like that. So you want it to be pretty flush against the, now I'm touching it, which I said don't do obviously, but I've been doing it for quite a while, so I know the amount of pressure I can put on it and where it will be okay. And then we put it into position again, like I said. So a few pins at the top and then a few at the bottom. You want to get it as tight in against that wing without piercing it, because that's what will keep it taut. And I like using the coloured pins so you see them better. Well, I can with my eyesight at my age. And there, and then I'll just turn it back this way. Sorry, a lot of motion here. And then we do the same for this wing. So push it down so you've got enough. Right, see how it's not quite symmetrical. Push it down like that. Oh, he's not moving this one. Be careful with the bottom wings. They don't have that costal vein. They do have a vein here, which is a little bit of a stronger vein, but it's not quite as good as that top wing. And then lots and lots of pins to hold it into place. Oops. Oh. And then more here in the gap, see? So you can hold your wing down. Sorry if you can't see well, I'll try and zoom in a bit. Hope you haven't got motion sickness now. I'm sorry if my voice is a bit loud. As I said on last week's video, the Spider Shop unboxing, I bought a, what was it called? A microphone, a wireless microphone, and it was not very good, so I need to buy a new one. So I'm back to phone audio at the moment. Okay, so there we are. That's that bit pinned. Now all we want to do now is check for how they look symmetrically. Oop, it's still moving this side. It's not great. Let's put some more pins in here. That's the only thing we're keeping it like that. It's so as you can see, this wing is slightly moved. So we just want to position it back up slowly. And the way you can do that properly is get right in here, like that. Okay, so that's held that now. And that looks lovely. So the last bits we need to do is the little antennae. Now the antennae are a little bit more fragile, so maybe you do want to get some entomology pins. You probably can't see them very well on this shop, but they're really cheap. You can buy like 200 on Amazon or eBay for a couple quid. I'll leave in the link if I can find them. And then you just pin your antennae either side. That one doesn't want to go. Let's get in here. So you see, get your little, just go in like that. And then you just want to get a pin to straighten that thorax up, or the abdomen, sorry, not thorax. And another one the other side to keep it nice and steady. Beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so let's do the emperor moth as well. So I'm not going to do this all in slow speed. We'll do some in time lapse. I just wanted to show you this moth really because it's just stunning. And you know, let me put my flash on so you can see the face. Look at that little face. They are so cute. And the wings are beautiful. Look at that. Well, we'll just show you the wings now. Hang on a sec before we pin it properly. So same again, squeeze the thorax to open the wings, which this one's not open as well. There we go. And then we get a pin. And I'll pop it down in here. It's really not open as well as I'd like. Okay. Pin down through the thorax, not through the abdomen if you can. Sorry, I'm far too close now. And then you just push it through gently. See the pin come through. Oh, it's really difficult. There, you can see it just by my finger there. And then you want to, oops, very gently grab the pin. And we'll pop this one here. So this one has a bigger body. So this is why you have this, so you can slightly move it very slightly. You might have to get two boards if you've got one with a really big body up to that one up there, because otherwise it's not going to go in there. There we go. Okay, I just want to show you these wings and then we'll go to a time lapse. So cut some tissue again. Oops. Look at these wings. Look at that. Let me show you. Look at those wings. Look at that. They are so beautiful. Love them. Right, let's go to time lapse. Okay, I've just seen something that actually is quite important. So, as you can see here, the bottom wing has completely come out from underneath the top wing, which you don't want because that doesn't look natural. So, in this instance, we need to start again, unfortunately. But that happens. So, you just want to make sure you get your top wing and get that bottom wing very gently to go back underneath when you're pinning your wings. So back up you go. He is really not liking going in. And there we go. We just need to move this wing out if we can, gently. Like that. Okay, back to hyperlapse. Okay, so that's them both pinned. Just look how stunning they are. The wings, the patterns to warn off predators, to make it look like eyes on the emperor moths, well, are just stunning. I've never worked with this species before, only the British ones, which are just as stunning. They're just very small. So these are huge emperor moths. And then obviously we have our Atlas moth. This is, like I said, the smaller species from Bali. The Philippines or Thailand species is probably about this big, but I couldn't get any in at the moment. But I have done, I have done in the past, so yeah, I definitely should be able to get some in at some point if anyone's interested in them. Now, let's go to the outro. So here are the finished moths. You need to leave them for about a week, this size moth to dry. So, smaller butterflies and smaller moths will take a few days, but leave these for about a week and then they'll be ready to frame or put into a dome. Now, if you want to see that process as well, let me know in the comments and I can do that for you when they're ready. I don't mind for a video in a few weeks. Pins everywhere. So messy. So what do you think of that? I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed and watched my videos recently. It means so much to me. So if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button because it really helps the channel loads. Subscribe if you're not, and notification bell for future videos, and I will see you next time.